So, what's it like to be a death metal executive?
Death metal executive. Here's like a cup of coffee and my cell phone in my hand.
Yeah, that's
Death
great.
metal executive. Hey, you know.
It was different than when you started, right?
What's
I
that?
said it was different than when you started.
Yeah. Yeah, this is way different than 20 years ago.
How's it different?
20 years ago, it'd be a beer. And it wouldn't be a cell phone, it'd be another beer.
Let's think back to when you first started. Let's go back to when you first started. What was going on in your world? What were you thinking? Now you signed, now you're playing out.
I felt like, what the heck am I doing? You know, it was rough. It was rough. I mean, we were driving around in his Camaro. We were we were sleeping in the Camaro.
Truck.
In the truck. We were spinning out on icy roads. We were eating Snicker bars because there was no more money.
Yeah,
we needed the money for gasoline to get to the next gig, or the hotel that we were going to get, you know. And
desperately on the phone with one of the, you know, at the time, whoever, like, at the time we had just hooked up with the Metal Blade or Combat, and, you know, and those, like, a lot of indie stuff that was going on.
Important combat people. They would come up to our rescue. You know,
they would come to our rescue. How much you guys need? Oh,
they would hook us up at the Iroquois. I don't know if you guys heard of the Iroquois Hotel. Okay, the grungiest of grunge. You know, it was amazing.
Yeah, that's 20 years ago. That's what we were doing.
You know,
we were like beer, food, with money. You know that we had beer, food, and beer, alcohol.
And take whatever we could.
Alcohol always won out. Yeah.
I mean, we would stop at. I don't know if I should talk about this, but we would stop at 7-Elevens, okay, and we would deter the guy working at the counter and talk to him, and you know, in the meantime, 2 or 3 other guys are like filling their pockets with, you know, burritos and whatever we could possibly dig up. You know, I mean, we were pirates, you know, almost. Pirates. We were pirates.
We were.
It was amazing. It was amazing. It's great to have that under our belt because then we wouldn't be able to appreciate what we have now. And I think it's great. You know, you come into a city, nice plush hotel, got a nice bus. You know, hey, it's fine.
What other bands were you touring around with and doing stuff at the time? Whether they're still around or not still around, what other bands like were right there next to you at 7-Eleven, shoving stuff in their pockets as well?
Oh wow.
You know, on that trip, we just basically, you know, we toured ourselves around. So if there was a band that played, it was usually a local band that played, and that happened in San Francisco. That happened, and that's where we came into the likes of Exodus. So that was one of the bands that we kind of did that crazy shit with.
Yeah, that's when the sinks in the hotels started ending up in the parking lot. You know. Televisions were attempted to be thrown out windows.
That's the only thing that keeps your sanity. Don't throw the TV out.
No, don't. Because we were like sitting in a hotel and it was Thanksgiving, right? And everybody's like, you know, you're watching a show or whatever, and everybody's having a nice Thanksgiving dinner, you know, and you're talking on the phone with your family and your friends, you know, and they're all having, hey, we're having a great Thanksgiving. You're sitting there having cookies and peanut butter, you know, and I went into kind of a rage and wanted to pick up the TV and throwing it out the window, and you know, the guy stopped me. It's just that kind of insanity. I mean, you know, there's more that goes along with it, but